This reality is an illusion. It was set up to harvest energy from spirits. A revolting illusion, to be sure, but very convincing and extremely persistent. 3 different words describe it accurately: game, experiment, simulation. Only very small part of the human population is truly aware of it. I have concluded after many months of noticing different YouTube stats that the part is even smaller than the YouTube would like me believe. The most important feature of this illusion is that it is insane. However, I am not certain if that has been the case always. If this game has some sort of authentic historical continuity, it would appear that it was not always insane. If humanity and this entire Earth system was invaded by some malevolent force and made insane, that doesn't change at all the description of this experience. It is simply a part of the ever-running script. I intuit that the previous versions of the meat suit were less immersive. There was less of the constant bombardment of the senses, therefore was easier to become self-aware, in my opinion, regardless of the insane asylum's plot being positive or negative at the time. That also means that the next version of the meat suit will have even more senses. As an example, it will be possible to feel exactly the blood flow in certain parts of the body, or even the shape of internal organs or whatnot, all as an attempt to swallow a spiritual being into the nightmarish illusion as much as possible. Here are some strong indications that we are inside a nightmare-level VR game. The percentage of people that are NPCs appears to be upwards of 95%. People who are on some level or another aware of the grand deception that plays out here appear to be incapable of uniting together in action around lowest common denominator, which would obviously mean putting aside all of the differences and demanding accountability for the purveyors of the game's grand events in 2020 onward. Entire populations at some points in alleged history, such as Mayas, have vanished without leaving any bone behind as a clue of a possible collective suicide, which likely means that they figured out how to leave this place without snuffing the meat suit. There are all these magical items such as Holy Grail, Philosopher's Stone, Spear of Destiny, and many others from the multitude of religions here that promise certain powers to those who would wield them. All of those powers are distractions, because the only real power would be an item that would allow you to exit the entire matrix with a snap of your fingers. I intuit that such an item likely exists, and it just might be one or more of the widely known magical items that can do that. The wielder would just need to know how to use it in such a way. To conclude the video, I want to explain in one sentence why I find it very appropriate to call this reality a mirage, regardless of all the varieties of very real pain that we can experience here. Because this place is a prison for perception.